Hello, and welcome back to Minecraft Bedwars episode 6. This video is sponsored by Tuesday, because it's Tuesday. You get it. I'm pretty sure this is the first game of Bedwars that I've used an alt that I've used before on, so this video is not going to be a direct continuation of the last one. If you remember in that video, I mentioned very briefly that I owned a Nintendo 3DS, but today we're going to be talking about the glory days of the 3DS. So when I got my first 3DS, I was 8 years old, and I got one of those like aqua blue ones, I guess you can call it. I don't know, it was like the base model with the translucent plastic over it. The first two games I had on it were Nascar Unleashed and Asphalt 3D, which were both racing games. That was kind of like my niche back then. And so I used to play those games a lot. And so those were the first two games I played, not like the commercial... I forgot there was a hole there. I didn't play like the big commercial games like on the 3DS for like a while, because I never really was a big Mario fan or anything like that. Seeing as the Wii was my first kind of like home console, I still never really had any popular games for that. Honestly, the only games I'd really ever play on there were like Wii Sports and then, I don't know, Boom Blocks. Boom Blocks is a great game. If you haven't played it, you need to get Boom Blocks. But I never had like a Mario game, or I think the closest I had was I played at my... So this is another thing from that first episode, is that my friend Shane that I talked about, he had Mario and Sonic at the 2010 Olympic Winter Games on the Wii. And so I would play that when we went to his house. That was a pretty fun one, actually. It's still one of my my most favorite Wii games that I've played. So when I first got it, I never really understood how it worked. So it was kind of like a whole magical thing. Like even the 3D, which admittedly I never really was a huge fan of. I'm sure it's a nice little gimmick, but I didn't get it for the 3D. I got it for the games. Hey, Red. Oh, I didn't get it. Wait, did I get it? I thought I broke it. What? I'm getting scammed.
Bruh.
When I wasn't playing NASCAR Unleashed or Asphalt, I'd be playing the built-in stuff on the 3DS. So like Swap Note, Nintendo Video, those were two that I actually really enjoyed. And you had like Face Raiders and AR games for like, you know, learning functions of the 3DS, but it wasn't like a, I'm gonna play this for, you know, hours game. It's like filler content, kinda. Okay. So what me, Shane, and my brother would do is that on like days where we'd carpool, we'd play on the Las Vegas map in Asphalt 3D. And there's this thing that we used to do because we thought it was fun, is that you could actually take your cars and block the road, like when you're almost done with the Red. Dude, he's got like horse blinders on. He's only going for me. Leave me alone, man. We're doing this. And so you could block the cars at the exit of that like turn, and everybody would run into you, and we thought that was really fun for some reason. Over the years that I did play Asphalt, I actually admittedly got pretty decent at it, at least in my eyes, but there's other games that I've played since, like Forza and like BeamNG, are a little bit more accurate. It's still a fun game, don't get me wrong, but at least in today's day and age, it's there's better options out there. Red, I swear, like White has been doing like nothing this whole game, and you're just still going after me. Leave me alone. But I'm not here just to talk about those two games specifically. I'm actually going to talk about a lot more, like Streetpass. For those that don't know, Streetpass was kind of like a mini social network at the time. And so you could like meet other people and you'd tag them. And when you tag them, you could like get some information about them. You'd get like their me and like a little like hello statement, I guess. Whatever, and you could put them in this plaza, a Streetpass me plaza, and you could take those me's and you could play like mini games with them. Like this one, it was called Find Me, and it was basically just like a little dungeon crawler. All I remember is that you fought and you saved the king at the end of the game. The only problem is that you'd have to have other people to play it with, and so you'd kind of have to rely on like tagging people with Streetpass. And if you live in like a rural area, that's kind of hard. But the caveat with that and the solution is that if you went to like McDonald's or something, they had something, it was called like the Nintendo Zone, and you could actually get the like you could tag people there. It was kind of like a bank kind of thing, and you could bank street passes at the McDonald's, and then when you went there, your DS would like download all of them. It was actually a really cool cool little feature at the time. Let's hope you don't have obsidian. Nice, thank you. Oh, you have a... Okay. Nope, never mind, we're fine. So as I mentioned previously, some of like the other apps you can get on there were like Nintendo Video and SwapNote. And both of those are kind of, you know, self-explanatory. SwapNote was like you swap notes with people. You could send them over the internet or you could send them over Streetpass. But that one unfortunately actually got shut down like soon after because, you know, sending notes to people, you can understand where the issue lied here. What are you doing, Red? Hey, my eyes are down here.
Ender Pearl.
Get wrecked. Aw, free sword. Nice. Now, I've always wanted an enchanted stone sword. Of course, the other software was Nintendo Video, and that one's also pretty self-explanatory. Basically, it would just be like short videos and like trailers and stuff for Nintendo games that you could watch on there. Like, overall, for kids, it's actually a pretty fun little thing that the kids could do.
Ender Pearl.
Alright, let's unload my TNT. We're just gonna carpet bomb him. Hey, it's me. Your friend Green. I feel like I've said that before. Back here. Really? I was all amped up to have this epic fight and then he just falls in the void. Okay. So like with any console, you'd get like your releases throughout the years, and the DS is no exception, or at least the 3DS rather. You'd get like new Super Mario Bros. 2, like Mario Kart 7, like all the actually like really good games that people love. And then like Animal Crossing and everything, that's like 2013, I think. But then you get into like 2016, and then you get like games like Codename Steam. What even is that game? Like, all I remember is like Abraham Lincoln and Steampunk, and that's about it. The advent now, though, with the eShop being shut down, is that the games are a lot harder to get. There's tutorials online on how to like jailbreak your DS and get all the games that you want. And I would actually recommend you do that, just to get like the games that you never played that you always wanted to. Obviously, I don't condone piracy, but if you can't get them, I mean, what else are you supposed to do, you know? Oh, I should have gapped. Why did you buy a golem? Excuse me, what? What is this, 4s? So once the 3DS kind of got into its later stages of life, admittedly, a lot of the games that they actually released on there weren't very good. Oh, now you're gonna fireball me. Okay. Yeah, you should have done that before you wasted your golem, but I mean, power to you, man. Just gonna avoid the golem. Oh, that was convenient. Okay. I think the best part of the 3DS was the social aspect. They had a game, well, not a game, but a piece of software, and you could do download play, and you could play games with others if they hosted it for you, and I think that was a really cool feature that was actually pretty underrated when it came to the 3DS. But one thing that was cool with it is with the Wii, if you had one, if you had the Nintendo channel, I want to say, you could actually download games from there, and then you could play them on your DS. Through download play. They were just little demos and stuff, but it's still pretty cool to have like, you know, extra content that you wouldn't have had originally. Obviously, you would have needed a Wii to do it, but I mean, everybody owns a Wii, so I own 2 of them. I actually have one hooked up underneath my like TV console thing, and oh wow, that was impressive, White. Well, that was really impressive, but you're dead now. And now, the nations of the world. Jeez, dude. I mean, I respect the fireballs. I mean, come on. Oh, I don't have any armor. That's a problem. Yeah, we're fine. The other thing that was really nice about the 3DS was that it had the backwards compatibility. So even if you couldn't buy, like, the latest games that were out, you still go to GameStop or whatever, and you could get, like, you know, cheaper DS games for... You could probably get, like, more DS games for the same amount of money that you could buy, like, one. For me, I had, like, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, for example. That was on the DS, and I had that. I never really got into the story of it. It never really clicked with me. It was fun, but I think I just enjoyed the party games more. You could play those with your friends. And then like Mario Kart 7, which I didn't get until about 4 years after I got my DS, so about 2016, 2015, kind of in that era. I had Mario Kart DS before that, and the only reason I really had that was because my cousin had a DS Lite and had Mario Kart DS, and so we would play Mario Kart DS on there. And I liked that one. A lot of the game modes that it had were very enjoyable, but I never really got the 7 just because I couldn't afford it, at least at the time. Eventually, after a while, it was something I could afford. Hey, Red, you wanna... Oh, I got him in the fire. Come on, die from fire damage. Yeah! Let's go. Compared to the Switch, which lacks a lot of the social aspects that the DS had, I think the DS was better in that regard. Sure, you can't really add Streetpass or anything like that to the Switch, purely because it's so big that you can't really carry it around portably as easy as you could with the DS. But at the same time, I think that the DS was better in certain aspects, like portability, definitely. Like, you can carry the Switch, it can get a little annoying to lug that big thing around all the time. That's why they kind of came out with the Switch Lite. It comes down to personal preference. I still play my DS from time to time. I think I just prefer PC games, where you could get a lot of the experience like that you could on Switch, but you can have controls that, at least to me, are easier to use. I don't want to start a console versus PC war or a controller versus keyboard war in the comments, but I mean, at least for me, I think I enjoy being able to control things a lot more precisely with like a keyboard and mouse compared to a controller where you just kind of have to swing. Not to diss like console players, but I do respect people that play games on console with controller purely because it's a little bit more difficult. All right, Yellow, we're gonna tag team them. Come on. All right, that didn't work very well. Hey, come up here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come up here. Hey. Hey, I'm talking to you. All right. That was so rude. The only, like, sad part about the DS is slowly every, like, feature got shut down. So, Swap Note got shut down in probably mid-2013, late 2013. Then Nintendo Video got shut down in 2014. And then eventually everything else started coming to a close. And eventually, once everything got shut down, it kind of took the allure away. And even you used to be able to, like, still kind of street pass some people from time to time. Nowadays, it's nigh on impossible, just because nobody really does anything with their DSs anymore. I still don't have a sword. That's an issue. Hey. Hey, how's it going? He's just gonna let me? I'm not cross-teaming, don't ban me. Oh man, that was the most polite Bedwars player I have ever interacted with in my life. Shout out Link the Nerd 1, absolute homie. You can still get street passes from time to time, but they're just not as common as they used to be. I mean, when I was in college, I used to take my DS to school so I could play Pokemon on the bus on the way there. And I actually did street pass one person. A single one. Oh, I still don't have a sword. Oops. Hey, I'm just gonna leave now. Okay. Alright. I'm accepting that loss. That was too good. Once Street Pass died out, that was kind of the end for the 3DS. I mean, you can still play it, sure, but it's just not a big thing anymore, unfortunately. That was just another episode of me talking about something I find interesting in Bed Wars. If you liked it, you can like it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll catch you for the next episode of Bed Wars, but I talk about something that I find interesting. Bye!